as you guys will remember.
I think it ends up working out pretty okay for DRX. You know, it's a AD carry who isn't too concerned about the threat of the Jarvan. Right, you have ways to get out of that. Ways not going too hot. So I was talking about how the Nico can obviously help Kai'Sa get through potentially some trickier lane spots, but not really working out. And now Jiwoo, you're getting dove.
Yeah, he does have barrier. He's going to use it, but Clozer's here as well, and just comes past, picks up first blood, and leaves.
Yeah.
Did use his Ghost in order to make that happen. DRX are able to come on over and grab themselves this first Cloud Dragon. And so Willer able to help lock that one down as Pyosik now looking towards him in the prior games. That's a little bit of a demonstration as to how things have been going so far in this series. DRX haven't quite managed to make it work. As now Ucal may have to use the flash as there's Cataclysm. And there is that flash we were talking about. As that Feather Recall was ridiculous. Jiwoo taking so much damage, has to flash. He's on like, what, 1 health? As Peter flashes on in to pick up the kill. And DNS, it's feeling like a repeat of the last couple of games.
Feeling really good for DNS. You know, Pyosik goes mid, instantly ults as soon as he pushes in. And the call there was clearly made. Peter's like, I can get it. I got this.
Flashes on in. We've got another fight that looks very similar. Now the Vi comes forward, cease and desist, and down goes the Xayah. No option to use that Feather Storm at all. And now Clozer is in the back of this pit, has to flash, and doesn't waste any time
to punish that aggressive play from DNS's bot lane.
Beautifully done. Clozer then has to put his flash on cooldown as well, so that might be an avenue of attack here for Willer next time around. As now Pyosik parking himself, looking for a kill onto Rich, who's holding this minion wave away from the turret, but Clozer's moving in as well. Oh, that's a very dead Gnar, isn't it? Yep, Clozer going to come on through and just take another freebie.
Clozer just, every time, he just walks over, picks up a kill, see you later.
Yep.
Going back to mid lane.
Yep. This game is just feeling like feed the rise here for DNS.
It just doesn't even look difficult. It's
nope.
He's not even using the realm
coming at him, gets a control ward down, but that dies immediately. As Peter here to help back up Pyosik. Let's see whether the Jarvan can get in, or whether DNS are going to give this one up. Jiwoo moves over, that is the Dragon secured, and that's an Infernal.
Yeah, but it's just these mistakes in the mid game.
Yeah.
They've really started to bleed out, and just making sure they don't fall into that trap again.
Oh, Andil is here in position. DuDu does have the counter-strike now, but just gets a bit of movement speed and is now looking for a bit of an angle as Pyosik's going to turn up. There's a Cataclysm onto Rich. Pop Blossom does not a whole lot of anything at all, and the Gnar is just dead, spiked by the flagpole. And Pyosik going to grab yet another one. 1-0-3 now. Like that, though, with Wild Growth yet available. Do get the heal cooldown, so I guess there is that. As Rich just continuing to push up here in this lane, as DuDu with counter-strike. Not feeling all that killable, as there is a Gnar to throw him against the wall. Wallop comes down as well, and that counter-strike did not a whole lot of anything at all. There is the cease and desist, as Andil was tanking up that turret for way too long, and he is just going to die. Now DuDu, it gets sniped by the Void Seeker, but I have a feeling that Willer is not going to make it out, and deokdam is going to seal his fate. So 2 for 1 in favor of DNS.
Still favorable for DNS, even with the snipe from Jiwoo. It makes you think if that Void Seeker had been blocked, hadn't connected, would have been even worse. Now Pyosik won't find
Yeah,
Rich.
Not the greatest of blast cone angles.
But the bot tower is going to go down, some camps going to get stolen, and it's just going from bad to worse.
Yeah, the respite that we were hoping for DRX to try to finally find is just not quite getting there.
Well, there is some respite.
I mean, they haven't lost the game
I don't
yet.
think should be letting them get this.
No, I don't think so. Teleport back for the Jax. So that means that DuDu is on the map, and deokdam and Peter are very scary right now. 2-1-3 on the Xayah, as now they're going to try and collapse onto DuDu. The wall is going to be set up, and DuDu is going to try and buy as much time as possible as the Realm Warp is delivering the rest of the team in. But they couldn't get close enough, and down goes the Jax. Just bring all your friends. That's the way to deal with it, is that's a Rift Herald just thrown down. Pyosik immediately mounts, and Shelly is going to try and do what she can. Looks for another knock up here, but he's just going to take the river exit. As, yeah, Pyosik will get a charge, but may give up this dragon. It was a weird maneuver.
Yeah, trying to use it for the team fight, Herald, but they just don't really find an angle in. Losing the Jax a big hit before the fight, and DRX, the Dragon Wincon, really coming online.
Yeah, so that is Infernal Soul Point. All 3 of them going their way, and now Clozer is so far up. Okay, well, cease and desist is going to come down. Talia Vi working out here, but does flash, and Clozer has the Ghost now running, and so will be able to get himself out.
Yeah, Clozer almost falling for the same trap DuDu just died to, but
Surely they don't do it again, you know?
You know, maybe DRX have just found their winning strategy. Whoever shows up bot, just kill them.
That's a good strategy. That'll get you some gold, you know?
And maybe a 4th dragon.
Bro.
The gold, you have a lot of slows in your kit already, though.
I never said it was a good thing. Oh well. Andil going to try and use his decoy in order to block some damage here, but this turret is just gone. deokdam there with a bunch of autos. We'll be able to deal with it. Rich being a little bit frustrating now, as after that kill, feels like it's added a bit of gusto to this Nah, who really wants this turret.
Should be able to get it. I mean, DNS moving to defend, but deokdam in trouble.
Yeah, that Featherstorm timing fantastic, but now it's on cooldown as the wall comes in. And deokdam, there's the flash forward. Cease and desist comes down, and Jiwoo should be able to lock this one up, and that is the kill. Pop Blossom used very defensively, but means Pyosik can't get too much done as now Clozer is zoned out of the fight as well. Rich just trying to be frustrating. Pyosik gets out, but now he's not able to help with the rest of this battle. It is just deokdam on the floor, but DRX finally finding something that actually works.
And deokdam opting to go back in after he used his ultimate. I was like, oh, he ults, he stays alive, he gets out, and then he's like, you know what? I still have it in me. I'm like, I think you should just leave. Just very heavily on DRX because, you know, they're 2-0 down in the series.
Yeah.
But in this game specifically, they're starting to pull into a bit of better...
Not exactly too psyched, but man, that boomerang proccing the hyper. Able to answer back that trade quite nicely as Willa realizing that he's not having a very good time. The Weaver's Wall to get Ucal out. And now Andil is also surfing over. Looking for that Pop Blossom angle, finds one. Featherstorm now down as well. Cease and desist comes in though, and in goes Jiwoo. It's a big Nah as well, but Cataclysm is fantastic. Pyosik immediately punished for it though, and Clozer goes down. It's a double for Jiwoo, and this is the comeback that we've been looking for. Peter, oh, the little Lulu that could, fighting against Andil, who misses the snare.
And a gold lead.
All right.
And for the first time in the series, it feels like they finally arrived.
Can you do a hands check? What's on your hands?
This 3-item spike on the Kite is insane.
Yeah, gigantic. Well, let's see whether Pyosik can... No, he can't. He can't get in there as Weaver's Wall to get Ucal, but he gets immediately put into the Rune Prison. Now Willer is going to try and mitigate it. Oh my god, where did Clozer go? Pop Blossom now as well as DRX are looking to add winning to winning. As DuDu, I don't think he's going to be able to get enough done. There is that Dusk and Dawn you were talking about, and Jiwoo is going ballistic. That is at least one kill, but the incredible seismic shove is looking real good here. The flash from Ucal to take down the Xayah, and that is the ace for DRX. And finally, they're looking good. And he's been pressing that R button relentlessly. Now he's got an arm guard as well, so it's going to feel a whole lot better. Flash Cataclysm for Pyosik here, but where's the follow-up? He does drag his way out as the Pop Blossom is actually baited quite nicely. As Willow with the flash forward, there's the cease and desist, and no Featherstorm for deokdam. No way to press any buttons at all, and now the rest of DRX are bearing down on DNS. Rich is going to die, but he takes Clozer with him, and now the two big carries are dead, and they should be able to push in.
And Willa has just consistently found deokdam on this Xayah, not giving him a chance to use the Featherstorm, either waiting for it to be down, or just buffering his Q with a flash, so he doesn't even get a chance to press his button. He has as well in pocket, which makes him really hard to deal with. It's just a tricky spot to be in.
I would say tricky certainly does fit the bill. As Clozer looking for an angle once again, as there is another flag drag and the Cataclysm, but Pyosik is now in an awkward spot, goes down immediately. They do take out the Nico as the wild growth is decent once again, but unfortunately there is no follow-up. And DNS, they realize that what they need is a Hail Mary, and unfortunately they span around on the spot and fell over. And DRX will just wipe them out.
Wall blocks some of the team of DRX, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Jiwoo and Ucal should just be able to close out the game at this point with long death timers. Wave coming up mid. DRX have found themselves a game in this series.
Yep, and now all of a sudden, Jonas Strong and Widit's predictions die, but we are gifted with a series, ladies and gentlemen. The beginnings of the DRX reverse sweep start now.
You know what? I love